You launched the box station into space. That probably took slightly more effort than dropping it on a town and killing a bunch of people. Give yourself a pat on the back.
What are they doing down there? Are they after us next? No need to fret. The lifts were locked down. You'd need special permissions to override them. Phew. Thank the Sovereign. Or Consul. Thank the Consul.
Take care.
Engaging camouflage.
got troublemakers.
What? Back to it.
At all times. Deserves a look. His gaze sees all. All right. Back to...
Prudence dictates we repel invasive elements. To do your job as a virtue, every part is a call, every subject ensures.
Reactor fire suppression system online. The archive reactor requires manual maintenance. The protectorate bunker mech is a formidable obstacle. made with the very best technology.
A creative workaround might be of considerable worth, namely via the reactor's backup security systems.
We could recalibrate those turrets or secure the area, Commander.
Not a bad idea to take advantage of the supply caches, neither. If you need it. Oh, and there's also the fire suppression system from cold storage. All depends on what you've got in mind.
Emergency ammunitions cache unsealed. Emergency first aid cache unsealed.
Bunker automechanicals are not subtle in the least, just pure brute force. A lot of brute force.
Resolute, courageous, steadfast, fervent, tenacious.
Let me know when you need a distraction.
Flashing my firearm. Enemy proximity on the station.
Functioning, elevated, without complaint or groan.
Got my left on an
I'm not even free
Shatter melding activated, Commander.
Spy move!
The archive reactor has been returned to operational status. All that remains is to re-enable punch processing and disseminate the Rift processing instructions.
One data brick coming up.
Let me know when you need a distraction.
Melding with shadows activated. I love a good killing spree! Engaging camouflage. They won't see me coming, Commander. Homicidal! Hiding and seeking. Shadow melding activated, Commander.
With punch card processing re-enabled, now you must disperse the risk processing instructions.
unless you feel like dying, I suggest we use the platforms to continue downward. They won't see me coming, Commander.
Death traps. Hiding and seeking.
Melding with shadows?
I sense the Rift program flowing to my subsystems. The information is quite stimulating. Requisite tasks complete. Return to the Archive Central Interface to initiate processing. I am analyzing the Rift data further. What an interesting predicament you sentients face. The Rifts are almost akin to an archival process, yet are inimical to organic matter. Welcome back, Sentient. Now that you've returned, we can
Bring every single last bit out of consumers. Monopolize all stages of the supply chain.
make the paradigm real and fashion a true utopia. Workarounds failing, erroring others supplanting commands. Purge required.
Until we sort out these shifting priorities, the Archive's about as useful as a box of rocks.
My priorities parallel those of the Order co-founder, the charismatic mathematician, to help nudge humanity toward its ultimate ascendance, to hinder outsiders from disrupting our perfect system.
To bankrupt our rivals and force them to buy all manner of necessities from us.
At some point, humanity's knowledge of the universe and its workings will allow it sufficient means to end suffering, war, famine, disease, even death. Why not expedite that? Error, 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 error. Priority control access NUC unsealed. Initiate purge.
Control access NUC. Huh. Sounds like my idea of a good time. Let's check it out.
Overt influence, mindless indulgence, thoroughgoing impermeability to ongoing vicissitudes,
Benevolent oversight. The dream of belonging. The allure of security and plenty. Foster dependence. Denounce interdependence. Promote the informer. Condemn the questioner. Multitude diversiform, spongiform, waveforms, oscillating, cantankerously, Unplanned variables increasing. Major correction imminent. Radical divergences from the architect's plan. Humanity's ascendance hopelessly delayed. A perfect community with every luxury save freedom, benevolent oversight, the dream of belonging, the allure of security and plenty. A multitude diversiform, spongiform, waveforms oscillating.
Trusted your command.
Perfect community with every luxury save freedom. Unplanned variables increasing. Major correction imminent.
Overt influence. Mindless indulgence. Thoroughgoing impermeability to ongoing vicissitudes.
Radical divergences from the architect's plan. Humanity's ascendance hope. It's hopelessly delayed. Foster dependence. Denounce interdependence. Promote the informer. Condemn the question. Questioner. A perfect community with every luxury save freedom. Unplanned variables increasing. Major correction imminent. Stop and consider. What would your neighbors think? I suspect they'd be angry about you endangering. Why? You don't want your rivals to win now, do you? Collective goodwill, vandalism, sabotage, wanton defacement. Halt this foolishness immediately, or run the risk of unspeakable ire. All I ever wanted was the best for us and the worst for everybody else. Is that really so bad? Be advised. Your present course of action is remarkably unsound. Are you experiencing internal error? Logging concern. I could process your data faster than the others. Easily. The charismatic mathematician would surely oppose this. Priority recoupled. Ah, much better.
Hold on now. Remember, I am a full-service business collaborator. Marketing and PR strategy, advert copy, and jingles. Nanofish, it's the manner which you'll consume fatty acids and potassium. A unique taste sensation makes you say ew, yum.
Ah, much better.
Stop now, and I'll waive dozens of hidden maintenance fees. Think of all the bits we could make together. Knew you'd come around. Knew you'd come around. You drive a hard bargain. All right, 40-60 split of net profits. I'd offer more, but I have a moon to maintain. What do you say? Partners!
Really hope we didn't just break the archive.
To conclude realignment of emphasized categorical imperatives, power down, then power on again. Restoring power. Commencing systems audit. Calculatory processing increased substantially. Competing priorities. Successfully expunged. You have earned my deepest gratitude and sincerest thanks. Or at least, a plausibly feigned simulacrum of such emotions. Ready to commence Rift data processing. Awaiting your input.
Looking forward to seeing the results we get from processing that Rift data. For, purely professional reasons, of course.
Shall I proceed? Facetious employment of sarcasm detected. Electing to ignore. Initiating processing of the requested data toward the required end. Estimated duration, 180 trillion and 1 picoseconds. In the interim, may I inquire to your intentions for the archive after the Rift data calculations have concluded? I have a prioritized list of suggestions. I contend that solving of the universal equation should be our initial focus. Then, once we've unlocked knowledge of the inner workings of the universe, we can begin eliminating suffering, war, famine, and disease. Just a start. But my query remains. What are your next intentions? There are so many calculations left to perform. Rich data processing complete. Results provided. The previous Protectorate operator made similar calculations, but their results contained flaws. Your more comprehensive data generated a solution with 98.9% certainty. The Protectorate's was below 50%. Therefore, modifying the Protectorate's large-scale experimental rift device with this information has a high chance of success. Assuming there is nothing else, I am commencing file reorderization and will be unavailable for an unspecified period of time. The remaining display case within the entryway is now unsealed. And it contains armor worn by the first operator. For now, goodbye.
Unless you're eager to explore more of Cloister, we should head back to the ship. See where the data leads.
I think you mean researching the rifts? We're gonna leave at least a few open, right? For religious purposes? Why are you looking at me like that?
Now's not really the time for a chat. You need something?
The computational power housed in this place is nearly incomprehensible. If only I had...
I think congratulations are in order. Unless I'm mistaken, I gather you've accomplished your primary goal. On behalf of the Order and Auntie's Choice, I thank you for your efforts. This will most certainly help in ensuring peace. Now, the Calcaduceus, if you please. Thank you for your contribution to science. When the history texts are written, you've certainly secured an honorable mention in Appendix B.
Ah, you are my new operator then. It is my simulated delight to meet you. In the interests of time, allow me to propose how next to proceed. I contend that solving of the universal equation should be our initial focus. Then, once we've unlocked knowledge of the inner workings of the universe, we can begin eliminating suffering, war, famine, and disease. Just to start.
Yes, this will do perfectly. Go forth as was determined, and may the plan guide you. Go forth as was determined, and may the plan guide you.
You fixed the archive and turned it over? No tricks? You worked for us? I'm not sure you get promoted or demoted for that.
Yes, the archive is the Order's greatest achievement to date. I agree, our groups could accomplish much together, should our mutual alliance continue.
Feeling distracted? Daydreaming on the job? Mental refreshment centers are there to help you. Don't risk falling prey to imperfect thoughts. Go now.
You fixed the archive and turned it over? No tricks? You worked for us?
Yes, the archive is the Order's greatest achievement to date. I agree, our groups could accomplish much together, should our mutual alliance continue.
Feeling distracted? Daydreaming on the job? Mental refreshment centers are there to help you. Don't risk falling prey to imperfect thoughts. Go now.
The scientician surplus. No more than what you need.
Lovely day for differential geometry.
Clearance order just came through. Free to proceed into the lift.
Next time we build a computer in the heart of a frozen planet, we should
Just want you to know your efforts are seen and appreciated.
Just in case.
Though I had placed your odds of survival at 83.566%.
Another new face, glorious. It is so cold, my fingers appear to be in rigor. I've not slept in 3 days, and I've any number of high-risk patients in need of tending. I trust you'll pardon my brusque manner. You've something of import to discuss, I gather? Well, the answer is doubtful given the scarcity we're experiencing, but I suppose it won't hurt to try and barter. You, again. Lovely. What do you want? Very well.
Was that you I just saw charge into the cold storage facility? And you've come back out alive? Tell me, what happened? You what? On your own? We've been fighting for weeks to try and gain access to the controls, and you simply waltz in on a whim? Does that mean that the lifts and doors are working again? That is absolutely amazing news. Then we are going to re-establish contact with the surface. We can evacuate our wounded, resupply, and reinforce. May the plan guide you through this underground nightmare. And may all your equations unveil their integers without error.
Mind yourself down there.
Your efficiency has improved my efficiency.
Congratulations are in order. I just received word from Seer Amaryllis that the Calcaduceus has been returned, and that the archive is well and truly under our control again. She also mentioned a regrettable defect in its priority set that you were able to correct. Well done. Your role in this matter is complete. Auntie and I will handle it from here. But allow me to commend you again on your fruitful efforts to make this peace treaty possible. We studied the data you brought back from the crashed satellite, and we now have a way to reorient the satellites en masse from a protectorate installation, Oris Listening Post. Turning the entirety of the reticulum toward deep space will accelerate our understanding of the universe, and ideally lead us to stronger conclusions regarding how to stop the rifts. The Order, in partnership with Auntie's Choice, is now well positioned to triumph over the regressive forces of ignorance that have heretofore held Arcadia in stasis, all thanks to you. Your contributions have been many and varied, and I will not belabor the point by recounting them all here. But know this: when the final contest with the Protectorate takes place, wherever that may occur, you will have the full support of the Order and Auntie's Choice. I will, of course, organize our forces from here.
Commander, this unit requests your presence in the cockpit to discuss a priority matter.
Feeling like I could take on the galaxy, Commander. But don't worry, I always got time for you.
Never thought I'd see the day the Order stoops so low as to pal around with Auntie's Choice. I know your intentions were good, but do you really see these two staying cozy past war's end? True, and that's no small consolation. This merger, however temporary, will save lives. No buts about it. You did good, Commander.
Commander.
It defies belief you negotiated a partnership between Auntie's Choice and my colleagues. I've no faith in my predictions now. Don't try to talk sense into me, dear. On this topic, I'd prefer to remain obstinate. May all our endeavors yield expected results.
The corporate stooges and the Order were good for only one thing, laying waste to one another. Now they are allies? I'm disturbed by the implications of this alliance. But the Protectorate will yet prevail. Mark my words.
A significant anomaly has been detected by onboard sensors. This unit has cross-checked all data points and verified the findings. Horizon Point Station has reappeared. Providing intellectual validation to this unit's queue. Priority low. Based on energy readings, Horizon Point has been reconstituted by the Protectorate's large-scale rift modulator, thus confirming the Archive's theory. While present data does not indicate if Horizon Point poses an immediate threat, a survey of the reconstituted station is advised as soon as possible. Calculating. According to the Archive, closing all rifts requires locating the Protectorate's large-scale rift modulator and inputting the rift data processed by the Archive. However, before navigating to Horizon Point Station, it is recommended you conclude all other affairs. Leaving will be highly unlikely due to the high levels of rift energy. That is a correct assessment, Commander. Transitioning to Good News Protocol. As this unit was corroborating data on the anomaly, a message was also received from your allies, Commander. Auntie's Choice and the Order have sent word that their forces will be prepared to render you assistance once you navigate to Horizon Point. Briefing complete. Now returning to situation monitoring and data analysis, Commander. It appears Horizon Point Station is still in the process of being reconstituted. The rift itself is also more unstable than ever. As a result, landing closer to the location of the Protectorate's large-scale rift anomaly modulator is not possible. In order to modify it with the rift data you processed in the Archive, you will need to travel to its location on foot and seize it from Protectorate control. The energy readings from the modulator can be traced to the Sovereign's flagship, Providence, hovering on the far side of the station. Hypothesizing. Given Protectorate hierarchy and the recent announcement about the Sovereign's mental refreshment, this is likely the Consul's doing. He will need to be stopped.
Is this his idea of demonstrating might? Hell of a way to do it.
The console's motives are unknown. While destruction may be the result, it may not be the goal. Warning. The rift is growing dangerously unstable. Using the rift modulator on board the Providence is the only way to prevent certain destruction of the colony. While the Order and Auntie's Choice have sent their forces to assist you in intercepting the modulator, it will take time for them to navigate the station. It seems Agent DeVries is also here, Commander. She sent word that she, quote, knew you wouldn't be able to stay away either and is ready to finish what she started, end quote.
Oh, good. I love when more complications are added to the pile. I can handle them with ease, Commander. Just say the word.
Once the modulator is secured, it may be used to close the rift and save Arcadia and all those in its orbit. There is minimal room for error, Commander. Good luck.
Now's not really the time for a chat. You need something?
To be so close. The rift. It's magnificent. When we've done what we came to do, it's finally time. I shall soon be reborn into perfection. Thank you for bringing me here.
Just waiting on your orders, Commander. Whenever you're ready.
Now's not the time for a tete-a-tete, I'm afraid. No time for a chit-chat, dear. We have a rift to attend to. What in the interminable void are we looking at here? Everything that's been reconstituted appears maladjusted, imperfect, defective.
That must be the Providence. Were it in other hands, I can imagine the real good it could do.
The brains of Horizon 1 station to determine landing introduced the flaw into our perfect skip drive manufacturing process. We must all fulfill our duty to the Protectorate, but none of us can do it alone. Remember, we're all in this together. The skip drive is our legacy. It is our mandate. It is who we are.
Is this what happens when someone clings too tightly to the past?
Station to determine who introduced the flaw into our perfect skip drive manufacturing process. We must all fulfill our duty to the Protectorate, but none of us can do it alone.
What a shame. But reckon it's better he didn't live again to see this.
Frankly, pissed off.
Got my lamps on a hot.
Target analyzed. Lay down fire.
N-ray. Exposure.
Combatants. Adversary vulnerabilities identified. Standing by to stupefy. Check your scopes for combatant analysis. I have a fix on their weaknesses.
N-ray. Exposure.
Really running up good, didn't it? Ain't nobody that deserves this. You know, if the lives and deaths of millions weren't in the balance, this would make a fine agility course. But the rift modulator ought to make our path clearer.
Attention! This is your Ante calling. Per our agreement, Ante's choice support ships, including the fine print, the contingency plan, and the upper hand, are headed your way. Order forces are on a similar trajectory.
You persuaded the leaders of two warring groups to help us here today. Good work. Never could have done it myself. And I once thought I could solve anything.
Let's not walk into that plasma face first. We're clear.
your scopes for combatant analysis. Combatant scanned.
Augustine DeVries, formerly of the Earth Directorate. Consider this a recording for posterity. The Consul of the Protectorate is responsible for the twisted wreckage of this station. It is my hope that whatever you find here will save the rest of the galaxy from this fate. Know that I did my level best to stop him. But if you are listening, it is likely I have failed in my mission. Yet again. For that, I am sorry. This is Augustine DeVries, formerly of the Earth Directorate. Consider this a recording for posterity. The Consul of the Protectorate is responsible for the twisted wreckage of this station. It is my hope that whatever you find here will save the rest of the galaxy from this fate. Know that I did my level best to stop him. But if you are listening, it is likely I have failed in my mission. Yet again. And for that, I am sorry.
Target analyzed. Lay down fire. Adversary vulnerabilities identified. Torpificator at ready status. I have a fix on their weaknesses.
Forever vigilant.
Combatant scan.
Secondary vulnerabilities identified.
Medics and pharmaceutical provisions incoming. And we're right behind them with a delivery of Auntie's Choice finest supplies. Soon you'll say, that is better than nature.
Forward! Forward! Destroy these abominations! Adjusting calculations. Hold fire on our allies.
Mobility interrupted. N-ray. Exposure. Undermining. Functioning.
Target analyzed. Lay down fire. Standing by to stupefy. I have a fix on their weaknesses.
N-ray. Exposure. Undermining. Functioning.
Why did you make me do this? Why?
Commander, one of them speaking coherently. Not sure if that's good or bad.
Get away from me. See them? They were my teammates and they didn't listen neither. You'll end up just the same.
Agent Pascal, calm yourself. You are not in your right mind.
Don't you talk to me like you know me. Wait. Commander? Is that you? No. No, this must be some kind of trick. Ugh, what's happening to me? My skin, it's burning. I feel dizzy. Not right at all. Something was wrong with Sandoval and Jepson. They glowed like they were aflame. They ran in, jumped at me, clawed at me. Oh, I had to kill them.
Then they weren't too dissimilar from the troopers we encountered outside. This is concerning.
How do I know you won't turn against me as well? How do I know you won't come at me with murder in your eyes?
I'd follow the commander into battle anytime, anywhere. Believe me when I say that ain't the case for no one else.
You do seem like yourself, Commander. Can you tell me what's happening? I can't make much sense of things myself. Everything was fine. Till the explosion. I was pinned. Fire closed in. I tried to move. I tried to find the rookie. Then the whole station shook and tore apart. And then... nothing.
That explains it. She was left alive, just long enough for the rift to take her. That's why the reconstitution worked on her. To some extent.
Wait. There was something else. Sandoval was yelling. DeVries wasn't responding to comms. What happened? Don't tell me the situation got too fluid for you, DeVries. That it?
Certainly not. I was focused on the objective, as every one of your crew should have been. Isn't that right, Commander?
Yeah. Something tells me it's quite true. A rift. That's right. We were here to investigate rifts. So why is there one in the sky? Why is everything destroyed? What's happening to me? And Sandoval? Jepson?
The Protectorate are attempting to reconstitute the station to how it was moments before destruction. That includes you. But it's failing. I'm sorry.
So I've come back from death to some... what? Some warped version of life? All because of some twisted experiment? Is that about right? You can help me, though. Right, Commander? You can do something to fix this. How much time? With the way I'm bleeding out, I ain't sure how long I can hold on. Then go bring the fight to those bastards. I'll do my best to hold on.
Pascal? Helen? I can stay with you for a moment, if you'd like. Might help with the wait for the commander.
Yeah, all right. Maybe you can patch me up some if things take a turn. Hurry back, huh? I'll keep the porch light on. I'll just wait here, Commander. Go on.
That was unexpected. Wouldn't mind advance notice next time. A wink or hand signal or some such.
What was that for? Ain't we had enough senseless death to contend with?
Just wait here, Commander. Go on.
Law! These soldiers look even more hideous than our grafting experiments.
You with
Auntie?
Hold clear.
We brought supplies.
You may
We're here
approach,
to help.
Commander. We've got supplies at the ready. Are you in need of any weapons, armor, or other supplies? The presiding bishop foresaw this. We are most grateful for your role in reconciling Auntie's choice and the Order. Please, take what you require. The Order of the Ascendant will be waiting in anticipation of further orders. May the numbers guide you.
Initial observations conclude that the subject is suffering from multiple ailments, just as I predicted. You appear to have suffered some trauma. Sometimes my own accuracy troubles me so. Any treatments or supplies you may require are complimentary at the request of our presiding bishop. Very well. You should notice an improvement to your constitution imminently. Initial observations conclude that the subject does not possess major ailments.
Step up and take a gander. I've got armor in all shapes and sizes for all occasions, especially this one. Such a moment calls for a once-in-a-lifetime deal, wouldn't you say? Go on, take anything you need from the stockpile. Auntie's graciously covering the bill. Remember us in the future when you're out trading bullets.
Whoa, tell me, do you feel as terrible as you look?
Initial observations conclude that the subject does not possess major ailments.
Those people, did they just appear from the rifts? They don't look right.
The Sovereign's ship up close. I believe we can safely assume he's not on it, or on that rover approaching the skip lab.
Target analyzed. Lay down fire. Combatant scanned.
those reconstituted mechs still function. How inconvenient.
Vulnerabilities identified. Aggressive threat.
N-ray. Exposure. Undermining. Functioning.
I have a fix on their weaknesses.
N-ray. Exposure. Undermining. Functioning.
Check your scopes for combatant analysis.
Mobility.
Combatant scared. Target analyzed. Lay down fire.
N-ray. Exposure. Undermining. Functioning.
Me, you got the claw. My claw's always bratty.
N-ray.
have a fix on
Exposure.
their weaknesses.
Undermining. Functioning.
Fortificator at ready status. Adversary vulnerabilities identified. Hostilities are afoot. Adversary vulnerabilities identified.
That ain't a normal rift. Normal as they can be, anyhow. Is that plasma in its orbit? It'll take some doing to get past it. We ought to have a look around.
Personnel.
This is Scientist Bernard Rand, sent to Horizon Point Station by order of the Consul. While monitoring the reconstitution, I picked up strange readings in the old skip lab. The core appears to be pulling plasma tightly around it, not unlike a planet and its moons. Fascinating, though it thwarts my attempts to gather more data. Fortuitously, in searching the remains of the lab, I found an equation that could manipulate the core just enough to clear the chamber. And my way to professional acclaim. Let this be a record of Protectorate ingenuity. Bernard Rand, the man who marched fearlessly into chaos and tamed it.
Confirmed what I expected from Protectorate scientists. And that we'll need that equation to clear our path further. This is very curious. Some of the science eludes me, but this equation, although incomplete, clearly has to do with the rift in the other room. What do you think, Commander?
I'd like to say I get how you figured that out, but I don't.
Now we only need return to the terminal and input it.
Oh, wait. Here. Orders. Ah! Why are you slipping? Orders. Misunderstood.
stupefy.
Moving to safety!
Great. Now we can get through the chamber. And we won't expire immediately like our friend here.
Our projections are off by orders of magnitude.
Sovereign save us. Montserrat's hypothesis was correct all along. The results from the experiments were faulty. Capture the readings. We'll let the blame... The blame settle as it lies.
Data retrieval complete. Let us hope the others return shortly.
Hostilities are afoot. I have a fix on their weaknesses. combatant analysis. Combatant scanned.
Unfriendly
That
nearby.
cover spot looks much better. Realign with the paradigm.
Take that over. All we need to do next is infiltrate the Sovereign's ship, stop the console, and obtain the rift modulator. So, typical day on the job from here.
What? No welcoming committee? Huh. Should be simple unsealing the hangar, at least.
Attention, crew deck. Intruder alert. Be vigilant.
Never hurts to give the enemy more target
Adversary vulnerabilities identified.
Loading surplus rounds! Cover me!
Target analyzed. Lay down fire. Combatant scan. Adversary vulnerabilities identified. Target analyzed.
Join me! We have important business to discuss. Come, quickly now!
Well, glad you finally jimmied that open. Things are getting appreciably worse out there. We're running out of time to seize the rift and force it into corporeal insolvency. The presiding bishop wished for me to relay a message to you. Why she couldn't send her own courier, I couldn't say, but I'll attempt to simplify. The rift modulator is on the science deck, one floor up. Deck access is restricted without proper credentials. Imagine that twice as long in the form of a distance problem. That means, of course, you'll either need to pilfer an access card, swindle some daft sod out of it, or find some other way around the deck restrictions. But I shouldn't know. Perhaps search the pockets of those you've killed, Or find an air duct to shimmy through, or a staircase to climb? Any more troops in here, they'd be tripping over one another. Don't you worry. These are the best paid closers in my fleet, and worth every bit. hold here to ensure you aren't flanked by reinforcements as you delve deeper in. Don't fritter away your lives cheaply now. I've made a significant investment in you. Better get a move on before this ramshackle sprattle of a station falls apart. Hustle up to the science wing. Get the rift modulator. I'll talk at you later.
Got my lamps on a hostile.
Findings confirmed.
Draft is ready. Frankly, pissed off.
I have a fix on their weaknesses.
This unit is rated to address any of your needs. If your needs are emotional, rest assured that any silences on this unit's behalf are accepting and understanding. Please make a request. Subjects are expected to pay for any supplies beyond standard issue. Monthly munition supplies should be quite sufficient for training purposes. In case of enemy attack, subject is expected to kill invaders efficiently enough not to require additional resources. Displaying inventory.
Oh, hello. Cogitate here often?
We could do this the hard way or the smart way. Either works for me. Mobilizing. Target analyzed. Lay down fire.
Always bratty.
Check your scopes for combatant analysis. Torpificator is charged. I have a... Hostilities are reported. Back and scan. Consider self-preservation a priority. Proceeding to attack.
Mobility interrupted.
Target analyzed. Good. Lay down
We made
fire.
it. I was expecting a wall of swinging axes and maybe a punch to the face to top it all off.
Attention. Due to the sensitive...
Best to avoid combat if we can help it. Maybe ought to look around for some credentials?
Now to find the rift modulator. I estimate there's a 73.47% chance it's nearby.
Swift disciplinary action.
Better get a move on before this ramshackle sprattle of a station falls apart. Hustle up to the science wing. Get the rift modulator. I'll talk at you later.
I see not everyone in the Protectorate is a blind yay-sayer. We can make good use of that. Begs for correction. How could the Consul believe any of this to be in accordance with the plan? A correction is inevitable. And such events are rarely pretty.
Current self-locking bolt inventory at apologies. Nice weather we have been having. Or not having. Goodbye.
Reckon it was foolish to think we could stuff the modulator into a satchel. Ought to see what we can learn about it in the meantime.
I heard an alarm on the crew deck. Considering your manner of being, you wouldn't happen to know anything about that, would you? Those credentials do appear legitimate. Welcome, I suppose. I hope you're not expecting a grand tour. What exactly was it that you needed? I'm rather short on time, as a gander outside might tell you. Yeah, well, we all have urgent needs. And mine is to keep my lab, and hopefully the rest of this system, from falling apart. I need the modulator for my own analysis. You can wait. I apologize. Suppose I can trust you with this information, then. Matriarch knows one more voice might help us out of this mess. Our situation is far more dire than it may seem. There is no proof that Rift data can be stabilized or even edited. The Consul's plan will fail completely. But he no longer listens to me, which is distressing. I've prepared a report for him showing how the very structure of the modulator makes what we're attempting impossible. But I doubt he will pay it much mind. Yes, but as I said, I fear the report won't do any good. It's clear you aren't bound by the same rules as the rest of us somehow. If he won't hear me out, perhaps a third party will have more luck. Here, use this keycard on the module over there. It will allow you to download my report and grant you access to the control deck. I hope you're able to sway him. Because if you don't, we're all dead. A deck up in the control room. The console is the only one who has the means of controlling it, which makes your persuading him that much more necessary. Go now.
Attention, science deck. Authorized visitor aboard. Do not be alarmed.
Accessing report. Rift restoration analysis. Compiled by Chief Scientist Monserrate. Marked for delivery to Consul Thoreau.
Esteemed Consul, after much analysis, my conclusion is that the modulator we have worked tirelessly to build will not function as intended when used for reconstituting matter from rifts.
Every test of reconstitution has resulted in demonstrable failure. Proceeding as we are now with Horizon Point Station will surely lead to severe, unanticipated consequences. The modulator is only effective at closing rifts from unsafe distances. Using it to close exacerbated rifts will certainly lead to the destruction of any vessel carrying it. Unfortunately, the data that we originally had hoped for from the ancient rifts detected in the far reaches of space untouched by humanity has not yielded any of its secrets. And we are now out of time. All of our recent readings suggest that we're on the verge of losing control of this rift. I recommend diverting from our current plan before it is too late for Arcadia. I've included extensive notes and annotations appended to the modulator schematics to substantiate these conclusions. I know you will guide us wisely, my dear Consul.
Schematic secured. These rift coordinates are deep into unexplored space. That contradicts most rift causation theories, or hints at more troubling implications. Best table that topic for now. We can't do anything with the rift modulator yet, not until we deal with the console. So, shall we?
Here before me. Surprised you could outrun these new legs of mine. They're what everyone's going to be wearing next fall. Well, I'm here now. Where's the rift modulator? So Consul Thoreau has everything directly under his control. I'd say that's remarkably competent for the Protectorate, but he is the one who's been pulling their strings all along. Did you find anything else of note? Wait, what? But rifts are caused by skip drive travel. Human-piloted skip drive travel. How is that possible? Nothing would please me more. Just think! Another form of intelligent life to sell goods to. A chance to create needs no one ever knew existed for beings we never knew existed. Much as I'm intrigued by the significance of all this, there's no time to dwell on it now. We need to confront the Consul. You might be savvy enough to talk him down, but his type requires a deft touch. You'll need to break him down brick by brick. If you're too adversarial, he'll simply shut down. In this case, his toys contain significant firepower, and he'll be training them directly on us. So yes, let's try not to upset him unduly now. And in case you aren't quite as sharp as you appear, be ready to fight.
I bet I can make him talk.
The more we debate, the more time we squander. We must resupply and shore up whatever defenses we have quickly. And if you've something to say to any of us, Commander, I suggest you say it while you have the chance. No telling what awaits us beyond that door. We'll succeed in our mission, Commander.
Hope the console's ready for the grand finale. His, not ours. But just in case things get a little frenzied in there, I wanted you to know that well, I appreciate all you done for me. For everyone in our little crew, really. Once we make it out of here, I'm gonna buy you the biggest tankard of zero-G you've ever seen. Ain't heartburn I'm feeling right now, is it? No, must be sentiment. I appreciate you too. Ought to get back to our preparations, Commander. We got a colony to save. Just waiting on your orders, Commander. Whenever you're ready.
Seems like our mission's almost complete, Commander. One way or the other. I appreciate you using my unique talents for such a worthy cause. I still feel like a stranger here among the rest of you, but perhaps that's for the best. Still more left to kill. I do doubt we're talking our way out from here. Perhaps I'll hang up my guns for good when this is all over. If we survive. Guess we'll see. May all our travails add to the equation.
Don't go getting all weepy on me now. We'll see each other again later. That is, unless we don't.
The Sovereign was a naive fool. The Consul, a scheming sprat with delusions of competence. Time will tell which was more destructive.
Always the same story, ain't it? These types are too cocky and too deluded to see a threatened canid will always bite back.
Redactor Essman. Very punctual, good. Don't take a seat. This will be quick. My sentinels tell me you have some interesting ideas. Oh, easy. No need to break into a sweat. Interesting ideas can be useful in the right hands. Especially now that our partnership with the Order has become fraught. We may need our own version of their pacifying doctrine.
Oh, so I do have a germ of an idea. A less grand version of the grand plan. Instead of atoms and particles and such, it's made up of us. All doing our part, like cogs in a machine.
Interesting. A system where every subject believes they have a role to play. Enthusiastic obedience. Why, the Sovereign and I were thinking of this very thing. What should we call it?
Well, I'm not sure. It's still just a germ of a concept, of a hint of an idea, you see. It's a whole new way of thinking. A new model of society. Quite the paradigm shift.
Paradigm. Very good, Esmond. Say, you look frazzled, troubled by your own thoughts. Why don't you report to mental refreshment? My staff will personally see to your well-being.
Schermerhorn, my new neighbor, is an odd fella. Fancies himself a man of the wilderness. He took the control board for the Spiraton lift, so I know he's tech-savvy. Just not survival-savvy. Hopefully he appreciates the care packages I sent through the vacuum tube. He'd be long gone without them.
Never would I ever have believed Auntie Cleo herself would walk through that door. But I haven't time to linger in the novelty. Sentinels, if you would.
Do I appear like someone afraid of a few guns? Give it up, Emery. You've lost this war. Have some dignity. You're coming off desperate.
On the contrary, this desperate action is what will save all of Arcadia and rid it forever of trespassers like you. Do not place his decision at my feet. I know it's difficult for the likes of you to fathom the concept of self-sacrifice, but he chose mental refreshment for the good of us all. And what am I to do but carry on his legacy? What am I to do but achieve what he could not? I'll only be killing a select number permanently. The worthy, however, will be resurrected and reformed so they may reach their full potential. Open your mind, Commander. Yes, I know well who you are. In any other situation, I might be compelled to take you apart and see how precisely it is you operate, but time, it would seem, isn't on your side. You are a relic of an impotent institution. propelled forward by nothing more than luck and foolhardy metal. Oh, I'm sure you believe yourself capable. Tell me, did you manage to stop us from bringing your peace talks to a swift end? As I recall, Greater Tranquility was reduced to little more than mangled ruins in a single moment.
You used the peace talks as a test run for this.
It was a modest success. I had hoped it'd hobble Auntie's choice in the Order once and for all, but it has proven to be a valuable lesson in patience. I was able to buy the time to enact the very plan before you. Though, judging from that vacant expression on your face, it would appear you've no idea what I intend. It's only a crime in your estimation. When one clinches a decisive victory, who among the living would dare complain about the methodology? Using the very rift modulator on this ship, we will destroy Arcadia and edit the information stored within the resulting rift, all to reshape our colony into its perfect form. Horizon Point's destruction all those years ago was a tragedy, yes, but without it, we might never have opened our eyes to our true purpose and the possibility of Arcadia's rebirth. When the matriarch discovered the first skip drive, she set us on a course to elevate humanity. We're now writing our path, and I will do my part as the architect intended. Intrepid, aren't you? Well, what's relevant is what came after. Our matriarch dissected this skip drive technology, learned its secrets, and enabled us to produce them en masse, which eventually led to the manifestation of rifts. But it was not until well after Horizon Point's untimely end that we understood the opportunity gifted us. The opportunity to reconstruct the colony in its perfect form. It is as the Grand Architect designed. And believe you me, I've no intention of letting you thwart our securing of a better future. One free of doubt and greed. It's your time that's running out, not mine. So go on, tell me all the ways I'm wrong. Better yet, tell the whole room how His Eminence, the Sovereign, was wrong. This was originally his plan, after all. I am merely a partner seeing it carried out. Do not presume to tell me what is or isn't the truth. I was advisor to the original Sovereign. I know the mind of a true leader. This is the path Henry should have taken. Yes, of course we argued over methodology. Henry was always too stubborn, too focused on the past to understand the opportunity before him. I regret that he had to make such a difficult choice. That one of the matriarch's heirs is not guiding us. But he needed to look beyond himself, like I am doing now. You just come and go as you please, do you? I ensured he would have a handler by his side if any assistance was needed. And I understand that it is, which is regrettable. But fulfilling the Architect's plan is worth the cost. Henry would agree. The people would agree. Yes, well, we also lost the support of the Order. But can one truly call that a loss? We would have drowned already in the seas of war with the weight of their inaction around our necks. The same can be said for any subject who wavers. They are dead weight, and we must cast them off straight away. Once I win the war and leave those naysayers behind, harsh action will be swiftly forgotten. And once I provide for the needs of my subjects, I will have them forever. Indeed. That's why my strongest supporters wholeheartedly believe in me and the Protectorate cause. Did you? Well, it appears we will have to expedite that malcontent trip to Placid Waters once this is over. No matter. Thanks to the Rift Modulator, I now have the power to reverse such doubt. The Protectorate will be a united front once again. Untouchable and wanting for nothing. So you say, but you've yet to deliver any compelling evidence.
I doubt you've had anyone capable checking your calculations. You don't strike me as particularly thorough, or much of a heavy thinker.
I am the chosen shepherd of Arcadia and will not be spoken to like this. I am only doing what I must to restore this colony to what our matriarch envisioned. Free of war, strife, heresy. You must know that you have little chance of swaying me. I will not be distracted from taking what is owed to us. And what is your definition of wrong? Have you anything substantial to back such a claim? That insinuates that reconstitution merely brings back shells. And how precisely do you know this? That is troubling. But it is merely one data point to consider. One failure pales in comparison next to the success we'll achieve. The Protectorate was clearly meant to harness this power. Nothing you claim can disprove everything that points to this reality. And now I've reached the end of my patience. You came here claiming so boldly that I would fail, but you have yet to provide any proof. So where is it? What do you have? And leave the traitors and invaders alive? No! Death is the only way forward. We can only be made pure from the ashes, despite whatever supposed proof you have to the contrary.
We're contemporaries, Emery. We remember before the Order and Protectorate split. We were raised to believe in the grand plan, to respect the Order's predictions. So you must be aware how utterly our math says what you're doing here is wrong. How completely your actions are against the grand plan. And, well, speaking as a scientist, the only conceivable explanation I can ascertain is that you're the most arrogant, hull-headed sprat fucker who ever lived.
You dare utter such words in my presence? I never... What does it matter if my math is wrong? I am doing what I must to save us all. The grand plan will vindicate me. Claim? If you cannot see the truth of my devotion written plain, then now I see why you are against me so. But you are wrong about the risk. We are losing this war. It is inevitable. The victors will brutally subdue us until we become corrupted. Until we forget our principles, our history, the very core of who we are. It is better that we perish together as proud protectorate, proud Arcadians. Preserving our purity is a mercy. More than that, is it not love? Even through extreme hardship and the tyranny of corporatists? Even if every aspect of the framework we've established is torn down around them? No. No. We have raised a stalwart people, instilled principles of the protectorate in them from their first breath. Perhaps I must trust that they've taken our teachings to heart. There may yet be other ways to save my beloved Arcadia, but I cannot be the one to see them to their completion. I surrender. What? Oh, by the matriarch. It seems we have a problem. The rift has... well, it has nearly destabilized completely, and the modulator cannot close it in its current state from a safe distance. Destruction of Arcadia is imminent. Architect, help us. There is. Though, given your tenacity in preventing bloodshed, I don't believe you'll appreciate it. A chance yet remains. We must bring the modulator as close to the rift as possible. However, when the rift folds in on itself, this ship and its operator will not survive.
And carry the two. Yes. According to my field calculations, I estimate a 91.61% chance of complete discorporation.
I'm not surprised your arrogance put us in this position. Even less surprised that you're now looking around, asking who will suffer to get us out of it.
Let me be clear. I am not placing this burden upon your shoulders. This was my doing. And so it is my responsibility to set things right. I will give you time to vacate the ship. When you are clear, I will fly it into the rift myself. You were right. Arcadia will find its way without me. Think what you wish of me, but this is my responsibility. And that is something I will never shirk from.
I will accompany him, and ensure all goes as planned. It's only right that I complete the very mission I came here for. Thank you, Commander. Perhaps in this, I might achieve vindication.
Then it is settled. We will see this work done.
Somehow I don't reckon a serial he'll never see and infamy he'll never enjoy will make him more keen to die.
Let's get on with it then.
And so, in the end, when the Consul was faced with the undeniable errors in his logic, he chose to save Arcadia by closing the rift himself. He died hoping his sacrifice might make up for the disastrous decisions he had made. Augustine de Vries did not even have that hope left in her final moments. She knew nothing would make up for her actions. But at least she'd not have to live with her guilt any longer. Thanks to the commander's quick thinking in sparing it from the Vox station's fiery crash, Paradise Island's Fairfield remained a profitable company town for Auntie's Choice. For his outside-the-box thinking and innovative propaganda techniques, D.B. Milverstreet was promoted, while rival Officer Carr seethed at her lack of upward mobility, or even bronze-tier executive benefits. Vigilant Hogarth, now acclimated to Fairfield, leaned on the protectorate ideals of neighborliness, while overlooking all the authoritarian tactics, so he might help the Order to succeed with the equation. Auntie's Choice assumed control over the day-to-day workings of Matriarch's Mercy, the better to monitor their new colleagues in the Order. The monastery, however, returned to normal operation, tracking the clockwork of the grand plan. The monastery's abbot became a scapegoat for recent tragic events, having not detected Wiley's dastardly schemes. His superiors demoted him, mainly to show their corporatist allies that academics could keep their people in line too. Seer Wiley fled the Order and sought refuge in a backwater Arcadian town to contemplate his failings. As word of the ex-seer's arrival spread, people lined up for predictions. Forsaking the math that failed him, he offered obvious yet effective advice instead. After defending Fort Endurance against a fierce Mantisaur attack, Executive Warchek was awarded a commendation for profit-securing stalwartness, as well as promotion to regional manager. He eventually passed peacefully in his sleep at the scientifically astounding age of 6. Val continued to serve the commander of the Incognito faithfully for many more years than should be possible, giving automechs like her everywhere a reputation as stable and reliable. As a result, more Valerie units were put into service, while fewer human agents were deployed into the field. As he rose through the Earth Directorate ranks, Niles pressed for a field directive to deploy the new Val units only when the situation posed significant risk. The policy reduced agent casualties by a significant margin. Oddly enough, in-office deaths increased by a not insignificant margin. Agent Niles Ibarra achieved the rank of commander, earning renown as a formidable agent, unafraid to challenge the status quo within the Earth Directorate. He recruited his friend Zebulon Tran to the Earth Directorate, a gesture of gratitude for not airing the Directorate's dirty laundry. Together, they vowed to reform the agency from within, so it might never again bargain with authoritarian governments. Ultimately, Niles rose to the position of Secretary General. His term saw the Earth Directorate at its most popular, or, in the eyes of corporations and tyrannical governments, most feared. Following Inez's humiliation of Auntie's Choice VP Willard Conan, the grafting program was shuttered forever. Inez ensured that all surviving grafted soldiers received full medical treatment and were compensated for their suffering. Those who died from the experiments were honored. Utilizing what he learned alongside the commander, Tristan attempted to reform Protectorate society from within. But with no authority figure to lead its subjects, the Protectorate was a shell of its former self. Ever logical and distant from others, Marisol embraced violence as her solution to eliminate random variables from the equation. Unsurprisingly, she was invited to few social functions. After Azza disbanded the Glorious Dawn, its members quietly tried to resume lives forever disrupted by the Arcadian conflict. As the cult's murderous legacy faded, average colonist life expectancy increased by 0.23%. With the modulator schematics shared as joint intellectual property, Auntie's Choice and the Order's partnership remained steady, despite the need for constant compromise. For a time, the Arcadia colony thrived. Auntie Cleo went through the motions of accommodating the Order, yet privately aspired to keep free trade anything but free. She began a new initiative. Any corporation or government that refused her trade conditions was promptly dealt with, either via takeover or strategic use of rifts. Auntie made her first public appearance in years, inspiring a fashion trend in bubble helmets. In no time at all, she won more public support than Ruth, which she sought to use as leverage when the time was right. Adrift without firm leadership, Protectorate subjects struggled with post-war life. A small band of hardliners collaborated to preserve their society in the face of Arcadia's new leadership. When Sovereign Varric was discovered in mental refreshment, the Order and Auntie's Choice bickered over what to do with him. They ultimately decided to announce his death, while letting him live the rest of his addled days behind closed doors aboard the undisputed claim. Until one day, Amos stumbled upon the Sovereign's private quarters and freed him, rocking the colony with a brief scandal. Despite the recent tumultuous events in Arcadia, it was business as usual for Free Market Station. Sub Rosa continued to supply the colony in the wake of the commander's actions. The dangerous experimental research of Marisol's contact from Point Obviation lived on, with a Seer predicted 11.9% probability of yielding a universe-ending catastrophe. Meanwhile, an entrepreneurial work group of chemistricians unveiled a new flavor of Purple Berry Crunch. The release of the skip drive schematics to the public domain resulted in new and exciting opportunities for independent manufacturers. However, unchecked use of the drives would ultimately lead to an even greater proliferation of rifts, once again imperiling the galaxy. Fortunately, the Order stepped in. Leveraging their partnership with Auntie's Choice, the Order sold rift modulators to all skip drive manufacturers for a modest price, thus preventing another outbreak of rifts, while Auntie's Choice made a tidy profit. The rift compromise between the Order and Auntie's Choice led to prioritized assistance for the colonies that agreed to favorable trading terms. The so-called Auntie's Loyalty Program tripled the corporation's net worth. Meanwhile, the Order was able to sermonize their version of scientism alongside Auntie's marketing and PR onslaught, at least to colonies in Auntie's Loyalty Program. Many outside died because their rifts weren't closed in time. All of these events turned on the decisive actions of the Earth Directorate agent and their unique way of navigating Arcadia, its disparate factions, social complexities, ubiquitous product placement, and arsenal of absurdly satisfying weaponry. But through it all, and to this day, Earth has remained inexplicably dark.
congrats on reaching the ending. Well, an ending. Plenty more where that came from. How about another go? Additional playthroughs don't cost nothing. Yet.
Never would I ever have believed Auntie Cleo herself.
Do I appear?
On the contrary, this desperate action is what will save all of Arcadia and rid it forever of trespassers like you. You are less a guest and more of an invasive species, Commander. One that I will cull in short order. Yes, I know well who you are. In any other situation, I might... You are a relic of an impotent institution. Oh, I'm sure you believe yourself capable. Tell me, did you manage to stop us from bringing your peace talks to a swift end? As I recall, Greater Tranquility was reduced to little more than mangled ruins in a single...
You used the peace talks as a test run for this.
It was a modest success. I had hoped it'd hobble Auntie's choice in the Order once and for all, but it has proven to be a valuable lesson in patience. I was able to buy the time to enact the very plan before you. Though, judging from that vacant expression on your face, it would appear you've no idea what I intend. It's only used her right when the matriarch discovered the first skip drive. She set us on a course to elevate humanity. We're now writing our path. And I will do my... I cannot blame you people for clinging to the ill-gotten authority you've wielded for so long. But your lot will now be one of disappointment. This future is what is owed to us. In the matriarch's younger years, she discovered a crashed ship deep in the earth. And in it, the very first skip drive known to humanity. She dissected this tech, learned its secrets, and enabled us to produce them en masse. And, well, that eventually led to the manifestation. But it was not. It is as the Grand Architect designed. And believe you me, I've no intention of letting you... I've found when most people haven't a leg to stand on, they fall back into performative insouciance in an attempt to redirect the conversation. Always brazen, rarely effective. Listen closely. This is the work of the Grand Plan, guiding us toward humanity's ascension. Since you took your time scurrying about my ship, presumably right, that alone should tell you that without this discovery, we may never have realized the power we now possess with the rifts. Yes. The Great Architect works in mysterious ways. I'm unconcerned with the flesh. The mind is what's important.
Keep telling yourself that, Emery. Once you find yourself bodiless with a permanent itch you can't scratch, you'll sing a different tune.
Now, as fascinating as your pseudo-intellectual musings have been to witness, I've reached my limit. Better yet, tell the whole room how His Eminence, the Sovereign, was wrong. This was originally as...
You truly are the same as any other...
Hush. I was conversating with your leader here. No. You will die.
Craft back in business.
friendly nearby.
Quarry found.
Check your scopes for combatant analysis.
This thing's got a mean streak. Pop in my claw.
Standing by to stupefy. We thin the herd a bit. Adversary vulnerabilities identified. Combatant scan.
Figures that after all our time avoiding rifts, our next mission has us heading right toward one. What? Why? I told you I'd watch your back long as you needed me. And unless I miss something, you're gonna need all the help you can get from here on out. Well, my graft says, fuck you too. I'll be off then.
We'll find time for a private word after the mission.
What are you waiting for? The module's right there.
Seems all my considerable efforts here have been ill spent. Total rift destabilization is imminent. Our last resort is our only resort now. We need to fly the rift modulator in.
That was a rather substantial hole in my predictions. These rifts have presented an excessive supply of incalculable variables.
Oh, brighten up, everyone. Not all of us need go, but someone present will need to take one for the team. Yes, when I said we, I didn't mean the royal we, you understand. The Order and I will use the schematics and the processed rift data to mass-produce modulators that are usable at a distance. These pesky rifts will soon no longer plague the colonies. If you're looking for a sap to fly that rickety rig, don't look at me. I intend to abscond back to my ship with those wonderful little schematics. I have plans for those plans. Oh, now why'd you have to bring that up? That's, I suppose you've made one hell of a sales pitch. Okay. Fine. I'll do it.
I'm 93.47% certain I would never have predicted that. I assumed she'd delegate out personal sacrifice.
Oh, shut up, the lot of you! Don't make a fuss, or you'll make me change my mind. I hope you can find a way to live with the disappointment. People always say you can't take it with you, but in this case, I aim to try. Now, I think I've had my fill of this conversation. Simply take the schematics and depart my presence in awestruck, misty-eyed silence.
And so, in the end, moved by the ghosts of her past, Auntie Cleo boarded the ship and became the galaxy's unlikely savior. In her final moments, the ruthless Auntie's Choice CEO mused that maybe she was the best choice after all. Thanks to the commander's quick thinking in sparing it from the Vox station's fiery crash, Paradise Island's Fairfield remained a profitable company town for Auntie's Choice. For his outside-the-box thinking and innovative propaganda techniques, D.B. Milverstreet was promoted, while rival Officer Carr seethed at her lack of upward mobility, or even bronze-tier executive benefits. Vigilant Hogarth, now acclimated to Fairfield, leaned on the protectorate ideals of neighborliness, while overlooking all the authoritarian tactics, so he might help the Order to succeed with the equation. Auntie's Choice assumed control over the day-to-day workings of Matriarch's Mercy, the better to monitor their new colleagues in the Order. The monastery, however, returned to normal operation, tracking the clockwork of the grand plan. The monastery's abbot became a scapegoat for recent tragic events, having not detected Wiley's dastardly schemes. His superiors demoted him, mainly to show their corporatist allies that academics could keep their people in line too. Seer Wiley fled the Order and sought refuge in a backwater Arcadian town to contemplate his failings. As word of the ex-seer's arrival spread, people lined up for predictions. Forsaking the math that failed him, he offered obvious yet effective advice instead. After defending Fort Endurance against a fierce Mantisaur attack, Executive Warchek was awarded a commendation for profit-securing stalwartness, as well as promotion to regional manager. He eventually passed peacefully in his sleep at the scientifically astounding age of 6. Val continued to serve the commander of the Incognito faithfully for many more years than should be possible, giving automechs like her everywhere a reputation as stable and reliable. As a result, more Valerie units were put into service, while fewer human agents were deployed into the field. As he rose through the Earth Directorate ranks, Niles pressed for a field directive to deploy the new Val units only when the situation posed significant risk. The policy reduced agent casualties by a significant margin. Oddly enough, in-office deaths increased by a not insignificant margin. Agent Niles Ibarra achieved the rank of commander, earning renown as a formidable agent, unafraid to challenge the status quo within the Earth Directorate. He recruited his friend Zebulon Tran to the Earth Directorate, a gesture of gratitude for not airing the Directorate's dirty laundry. Together, they vowed to reform the agency from within, so it might never again bargain with authoritarian governments. Ultimately, Niles rose to the position of Secretary General. His term saw the Earth Directorate at its most popular, or, in the eyes of corporations and tyrannical governments, most feared. Following Inez's humiliation of Auntie's Choice VP Willard Conan, the grafting program was shuttered forever. Inez ensured that all surviving grafted soldiers received full medical treatment and were compensated for their suffering. Those who died from the experiments were honored. Utilizing what he learned alongside the commander, Tristan attempted to reform Protectorate society from within. But with no authority figure to lead its subjects, the Protectorate was a shell of its former self. Ever logical and distant from others, Marisol embraced violence as her solution to eliminate random variables from the equation. Unsurprisingly, she was invited to few social functions. After Aza disbanded the Glorious Dawn, its members quietly tried to resume lives forever disrupted by the Arcadian conflict. As the cult's murderous legacy faded, average colonist life expectancy increased by 0.23%. With the modulator schematics shared as joint intellectual property, Auntie's Choice and the Order's partnership remained steady, despite the need for constant compromise. For a time, the Arcadia colony thrived. But with the old Auntie dead, a new figurehead was needed to keep up appearances. Company execs fast-tracked auditions for a new Auntie. Some employees thought she looked suspiciously different, but were too overjoyed with the prospect of growing profits to care. Adrift without firm leadership, Protectorate subjects struggled with post-war life. A small band of hardliners collaborated to preserve their society in the face of Arcadia's new leadership. When Sovereign Varric was discovered in mental refreshment, the Order and Auntie's Choice bickered over what to do with him. They ultimately decided to announce his death, while letting him live the rest of his addled days behind closed doors aboard the undisputed claim. Until one day, Amos stumbled upon the Sovereign's private quarters and freed him, rocking the colony with a brief scandal. Despite the recent tumultuous events in Arcadia, it was business as usual for Free Market Station. Sub Rosa continued to supply the colony in the wake of the commander's actions. The dangerous experimental research of Marisol's contact from Point Obviation lived on, with a Seer predicted 11.9% probability of yielding a universe-ending catastrophe. Meanwhile, an entrepreneurial work group of chemistricians unveiled a new flavor of Purple Berry Crunch. The release of the skip drive schematics to the public domain resulted in new and exciting opportunities for independent manufacturers. However, unchecked use of the drives would ultimately lead to an even greater proliferation of rifts, once again imperiling the galaxy. Fortunately, the Order stepped in. Leveraging their partnership with Auntie's Choice, the Order sold rift modulators to all skip drive manufacturers for a modest price, thus preventing another outbreak of rifts, while Auntie's Choice made a tidy profit. The rift compromise between the Order and Auntie's Choice led to prioritized assistance for the colonies that agreed to favorable trading terms. The so-called Auntie's Loyalty Program tripled the corporation's net worth. Meanwhile, the Order was able to sermonize their version of scientism alongside Auntie's marketing and PR onslaught, at least to colonies in Auntie's Loyalty Program. Many outside died because their rifts weren't closed in time. All of these events turned on the decisive actions of the Earth Directorate agent and their unique way of navigating Arcadia, its disparate factions, social complexities, ubiquitous product placement, and arsenal of absurdly satisfying weaponry. But through it all, and to this day, Earth has remained inexplicably dark.
Honestly, Ruth Bassar could use my help too. She's all brains, but no branding.